If you're watching this, I assume you own this car, so you know that the subwoofer that BMW put in this is horrible. So let's go ahead and replace it. As you can see, this one's all blown out. I've taken out the 4 Phillips head screws on top, and then the box just goes ahead and pulls right on out. Now you can see here that there's a 4-pin connector, and that's 2 pairs for your right and left speakers. In this case, a dual voice subwoofer. I know on my amp I've only got 1 pair, so I'm gonna have to combine those. Let's figure out what I'm gonna do next. Alright, so here's the space I have to work with, and I can see that there's a hardwood floor, but the front and back of the enclosure is just flimsy plastic, so it's going to need an enclosure. And as far as I can see, the best thing is to have the speaker just up top with an enclosure that fits in that space. So with that in mind, I bought this kicker subwoofer. It has the same basic specs as a 6-inch Harman Kardon. It's 4 ohms, it's dual voice, but the Harman Kardon is a 6-inch, and it obviously doesn't take very much wattage because it blows all the time. So this should sound a lot better, be a lot more robust, and will let me use a more powerful amp. I've got a Kenwood amp in there now, so this subwoofer is going to stand up to that. Alright, so since I only have 1 pair coming from my amp, I'm going to bridge the positive for one of the voice coils to the negative on the other voice coil, and that will put them in series, and then I just connect my positive and negative to the posts that are left. And I went ahead and ordered this enclosure box I found on Etsy. I just did a Google search. I don't know if I recommend it, so I won't put a link in here, but you can do a Google search and find what's out there pretty easily. And this should fit inside, but I just wish I'd built my own. It's just some particle board, and you know, it just fits this 8-inch sub that I bought. But actually it doesn't fit the 8-inch sub I bought, because that little side post there is a little too thick, so I'm gonna have to cut about a 1.5-inch notch in the top of that circular hole. Alright, here I am at my workbench, and I got my Dremel tool, and I put the grinding or cutting head, I think they call it, and put that on high, and it should grind out a nice little notch for me in a couple seconds. So I'll put on my eye gear, and let's get this done. I think I'll go right along the side here, a little off center, so I can like put it down in the notch and then twist the speaker, and it'll be that much more secure before I screw it down. Alright, so about 1 or 2 minutes of grinding, probably less, and I've got a little notch there. That should be just enough for that side post to slide on down in there. So let's go ahead and take a look. Boy, that's a lot of sawdust, but I should be okay. So I put the plastic back on to protect that speaker, that subwoofer, and there we go. Bam. It goes right in. So, and it's nice and flush all the way around. Perfect. So I'm going to just clean this up, vacuum it, wipe it down, get all that dust out of there, and I'll see you back out at the car. Alright, so I'm going to do a pre-fitting of the box without the speaker just to make sure I can get this down into that space. So I'll go ahead and take off the existing cover. It looks pretty similar to what I'm going to replace it with, minus the speaker, of course. And I can see right now that's not going to fit down in there. There's no way, so I'm going to have to do some modification. Alright, let's take this out and see what we're working with. So there's a little cross member or some type of bracket there. It's got 4 Phillips head screws holding it on, so let's get those out, try it again, and take it from there. Alright, the cross member's gone, but it still doesn't fit, so I'm gonna have to get creative here. Nah, not gonna fit. Nope. Okay, so I grabbed my Dremel tool and I'm just gonna trim off that plastic there, and I think that'll be it. I think I'll be good. I'm gonna grab a pin, I'll make the cut, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I made the cut, and let's go ahead and give it a try. But look at all the grime in there from that old deteriorated the subwoofer that was blown out. All those particles, I'm going to have to clean that up. But as long as I get this straight up and down, bam, there we go. Falls right in. Okay, so my box fits, my speaker fits into the box. I got to think about the wiring now. So from the stock subwoofer, you got 2 pairs coming out for each voice coil, and you got these blade connectors, 4 of them, 2 pair for each voice coil. But from my amp, my Kenwood amp, I've only got 1 pair coming out, so I'm going to combine those, and I'll just use my multimeter to you know, to get continuity, make sure I'm connecting the right wires to everything. And once that's done, I got some wood screws here, and looks like I need 8 of them. So I'll go ahead and screw the subwoofer down to the box, and we'll get going. You can see I combined my 2 pair into some nice 12 gauge wire there, and it's good to go. I'll just connect this connector to the internal wiring in the car, and that's it. So I've got that connected. Let's get this out of the way, back into its little slot off to the side. Alright, and this should slide right in since we did all of our prep work beforehand. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so along the top here, you're going to see 4 little white dots on the sides, on each side. Under there are some Phillips head screws that mount this down, you know, into that space. The gap will be gone, and I'll just grab a screwdriver. Alright, I didn't want to, it's kind of late, I didn't want to piss off my neighbor, so I came down here to Alki Beach, and I'm going to give this a try. Now I'm going to have to set up the speaker settings and my amp settings for this. But I can tell already that it sounds about 1,000 times better than what came with the car. Alright, I think I'm pretty happy with this. If this was useful to you at all, go ahead and hit like for me down at the bottom. And if you want to see more videos, go ahead and hit subscribe. Thanks for dropping in.